lost your mind. You gotta be such a mystery for me. Blow my mind, I just can't deny. Replay in my mind of you, things you wanna do to me. Replay in my mind of you. You're gonna my reputation, I'm not gonna hide this. You're gonna my reputation, I'm not gonna hide. You go free, I love everything we'll be. Cause you're gonna my reputation, my reputation.
You got something to say?
You do.
Brewtiful morning. Thank you for being with us at Friday morning at 8:30 when we try to bring to you some information that's going on in our town. My name is Jimmy Dancy. I'm a mayor of this wonderful town of Roseland, and I have with me today. Okay, well, tell everybody who you are.
You don't have a guest.
Yes, you're my guest. You tell everybody who you are. Well, this is Jackson, who was with me. So he doesn't get to be with me anymore. So we're going to have a great day. I want to talk about a little bit of the stuff about happening yesterday. We had an event that happened that not only is great for our town and our area, but it's really great for our whole community and in fact, the county. So it was a big event. Very pleased with the results, the many people we got to see and talk to, and especially kicking off of what's a great happening in our area nearby. So thank you for joining us every Friday morning. Thanks again to Magnolia and Doug in our control room and keeping us on board. And thanks for our guests being with us today. But join us each Friday morning at 8:30. Thank you and have a great day.
Bye, Mayor.
Bye.
Bye, Jackson. You never know with a 4-year-old, what you're going to get. He thinks he's 6. So Courtney, what you don't know but our viewers know is every time the mayor asks him, how old he is, he says he's 6, but he's really 4. So
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And normally Jackson has a joke for us. So, who knows? Maybe we'll slide one in. I think Magnolia's got a couple in the basket over there. I don't know. I know our viewers love to get a good punny joke. So,
I mean, you're the king of dad jokes. So I think the response.
My coffee cup's only, a quarter of the way down. So give it time. The show is young. Well, good morning, everybody. Courtney, thank you for joining us. Courtney is with the CF Foundation of Western North Carolina. As you guys that are watching us, you know that we are big supporters of the CF Foundation. We've done a lot of different things with them throughout the years. And here recently, probably in the last 2 years, have done some great events, our annual Duck Dash Derby and our wellness campaign that we did over at Kiwanis Park. And we've had some folks on to talk about the extreme hike, and we have some people in our community that'll be participating in the extreme hike. We probably have the most extreme hiker for the Western North Carolina CF Foundation that lives here in Rutherton, and Dr. Lawrence, and he's been on the show with us before. It's good to have new faces and familiar friends from CF Foundation on with us this morning. And so with that, Courtney, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and kind of your role with the foundation, and then we'll kind of get into why you're here this morning.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Doug. And thank you, Magnolia, for having me. So my name's Courtney File. I've been a volunteer with the CF Foundation for 5 years now. I moved down to North Carolina from Ohio. And I moved down here and started setting out my resume to a bunch of event planners, and somehow one of them was connected to Gwen. I don't know if y'all know Gwen, but she was like, "Hey, come work for the CF Foundation." And at that point, I was like, "I need a job," because she wanted me to be like a free intern. So I started volunteering. She's like, "There's a ton of opportunities to volunteer." I actually got in with Master Chefs. I have volunteered with Extreme Hike. Those people are bonkers. It is crazy how much effort and work they put into that. But I am actually the co-chair of an event called Guys and Dolls that happens every March. This year, it's back to where it was originally in the Hilton in Uptown Charlotte. It looked a little different during COVID, so we're back to our normal, regular scheduled program. So it's a very cool event. the CF Foundation is fantastic. I think y'all obviously know it's amazing, the fundraisers you guys are doing. We have an event for everyone. Great Strides is a big one. We do that all across the state. But yeah, that's a little bit of an intro into just my involvement with the CF Foundation.
Cool. So Magnolia and I were talking before the show. Neither one of us have been to the Guys and, you said Guys and Dolls?
Yeah. Everyone thinks it's the play or the musical, but it's not.
It's not. It's not. It's so not. But it's worth it because it's so much fun, right? So
it's so much fun.
Tell us in a nutshell what Guys and Dolls and what that night looks like at the Hilton in downtown Charlotte.
Yeah, so it's actually a live auction. So our Guys and Dolls are the honorees that put together live auction packages. We have teams. So this year we have 3 teams, and each team has a kid with CF tied to it. So I'm Team Sienna. Sienna's been doing it for years. She's amazing. All of these kids, so we rep these kids, we get to meet them through family days. We become really close with the families, which is really nice. But it's very cool to tie, what we're fundraising to an actual person struggling with the disease. We get to do a tour of the kids, that are in Atrium, which is really fun. But the event is a live auction. Like I said, there's also a silent auction part of it. And it's really fun. It's a gala. So it's black tie. You get to dress up, which, a lot of us haven't done since prom. And that's very cool. You get to hang out with your friends, eat food. It's open bar for those that drink. And then there's a DJ after. So it's literally an adult prom, but you spend money and, raise money for a good cause. So, that's kind of it in a nutshell. But the participants, I have met, I think 10 of my friends through CF years ago, and we're still extremely close. You just build relationships with everyone just because you're working so hard to raise money for this cause.
Awesome. What are some of the, when you guys are there, is it a true live auction, or is it a silent auction? Do you guys have an auctioneer? And
yes. Yeah. So there is a silent auction portion. So throughout the evening, you can silent bid on those through a mobile app, which is really nice. You don't have to stand there and write your bids down. And then there is a live auction program, and we do have our two amazing auctioneers that have been doing this with us for years. It's fantastic. It's really cool. I have been a doll in the past. You get to pick your intro song. You walk out. You're kind of just standing up there looking pretty, and the auctioneer is doing all the work. But it's it was one of the best moments of my life. I kind of blacked out during it, just from the adrenaline, but the pictures look great.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, we started talking about live auction, and that auctioneer song, that old country song from the 90s, is going through my head. So I won't even say. I'm not even going to attempt to sing it. But
I did that Fake ID song by Fake ID that was in Footloose. That new new novel of Footloose. Love that. I did a Myrtle Beach package, so I got 2 country music fest VIP tickets and just built a package around that.
Good Lord.
It was very cool.
Okay, so I think I'm most afraid of going to a live auction and then accidentally making a movement and then losing $6,000.
That I promise, there's you have to raise your card very high, and they lock eyes with you, and they're
oh, that's good. So there's none of this secret. There's none of this secret
No, you have to make a very significant action to raise your card up. I promise, you're not accidentally bidding $6,000. Oh, sorry, what?
I was just gonna say, I just want somebody to come out to that song that's running through my head. It's John Michael Montgomery's "Sold."
Okay, well, Kevin did say you brought it up. You have to sing it. So
no, not happening.
A special beautiful morning.
I don't think I know it. You have to sing it.
Yeah, no. So, how do people get signed up for this night? Where, if it's obviously not a free event, so we don't just need to be walking into the Hilton. But when does this happen, and how do they get access to tickets and get ready for this?
Yeah, so if they know anyone doing it or they know anyone with the foundation, they can reach out to them. It is let me see, it's March. I just want to make sure before I say it that I'm
Ooh, we
saying
got
the
some
right date.
time.
March 25th, 2023. And you can also go to the Western Carolinas CF page and buy tickets there. The thing is, everyone that's participating, the committee and myself, we're all fundraising money. So ticket sales actually go towards our fundraising minimum. So if you know anyone doing it, it's best to buy through them and then your tables can be together. But if you don't, then yeah, it's totally fine to buy tickets on the Western Carolinas page. Or you can reach out to me. And my email is courtneyeFile@gmail.com, and I can get you connected with some of the teams. But yeah, it's a fantastic event. I love it. If you don't want to bid, and people I feel like get a little afraid of going to a live auction, they think they have to spend $1,000. You don't. There's silent auction items are very, low cost and attainable. You can also do bid for a cure, which is my favorite part of the evening. We always have a guest speaker come up and their experience cystic fibrosis, and then you can bid some money. I mean, you don't get anything for it, but it makes your heart feel good. So that's my favorite part of the evening.
I am pretty excited about this. So you got plenty of time. We got till March.
Yes.
Got plenty of time to buy tickets. Did you say before the show started that you also help with the extreme hike that's coming up? They had to reschedule it.
Yeah, so I have volunteered with extreme hike. No, I've never done it. I would never. I actually had a couple friends that went and did the extreme hike Grand Canyon a couple weeks ago, and they said that was crazy. So
they actually rescheduled to the extreme hike for this weekend. So I'm actually going to Asheville to speak at their dinner event or something tonight. So that'll be fun.
Oh, that's amazing. I haven't volunteered with it this year, so I had no idea that happened. Do you know what trail they're doing?
I think they start in Max Patch. Okay. Or they end there. I know that's Max Patch is involved in it in some capacity, but
yeah, Max Patch, that's a beautiful hike. They did it a few years ago. I've seen the pictures and they're amazing. Yeah. That's a really cool event. If you actually want to volunteer for that event, it's super fun. I've done it. It's a crazy day. You wake up at like 2 a.m. and you don't go to sleep till like 10 p.m. But it's so fulfilling and seeing those people hike the finish line, it's just wild. It's like, there's nothing better.
Yeah. And a couple, I guess maybe about 2 months ago now, two and a half months ago, we had on Jill Gradzus. She and her husband Ivan have signed up to do the extreme hike, just with their personal commitments, their life. They're a young family. They have a young son, and he's very involved in things. They were going to do the fall hike, but they have transitioned from the fall hike to the spring hike. So they're still in the middle of their fundraising. So just getting about all of our viewers that know Jill and have been helping Jill and Ivan through their fundraising. They will not be, I'm sure they'll be participating in some level maybe this weekend. I don't know. But as far as them actually participating in the hike, they're going to do the spring hike. But I know Dr. Lawrence, who is a stalwart of your hikes, and I don't even know how many the band has done at this point, but it's got to be in the 20s or 30s. I think he's done like almost every extreme hike that you guys have ever put on. I know he'll be there and ready to go. So
we have it's a very big family. It's very tight. We've actually talked about some of our meetings, like which CF event families are the tightest, and hike by far is the winner. I mean, they're so close. It's awesome. I love it.
Well, Courtney, thank you for being on with us this morning. We're just delighted to continue to do outreach and help and partner with the CF Foundation. And as you guys get closer to your event, please share some information with Magnolia and I. We'll definitely get it out to our viewers. And maybe as the packages come together later in the spring, we can get you guys back on and kind of highlight the event. But again, I just wanted to say thank you for jumping on with us this morning. Thank you for your volunteer work with the organization.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's been awesome. You guys have a really cool podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye.
So, Magnolia, I'm throwing you for a loop because you're probably sitting there looking at your screen going, what in the world? Why is this person down here? And I don't know if he is, so I'm hoping that he is. But many of you know Mr. RJ Aiken, and RJ is with Reaching Roco, among so many other different things. But I was with RJ last night, and we were talking about the release. The next edition of Reaching Roco is going to be coming out next week. Actually, next Friday, the issue drops. And then there'll be an issue that's coming out in end of December, 1st of January. Or no, 1st of December. 1st of December. Get it right. Get it right. And so I've asked RJ to join us this morning. I hope he's there ready to jump on. If not, I'll just continue to talk about how cool RJ is until he is there.
I don't see him quite yet.
Okay, well, at some point he's going to crash the show. Oh. See, there he is. I knew he was going to crash the show. There he is, live and in person from Isothermal Community College, the Brewtiful campus, right in the middle of downtown Spindale. RJ, good morning.
Good morning, Brewtiful morning. It's good morning, the town of Rutherford. How are you doing?
We're doing wonderful. It was a fun day yesterday. It's good to see you yesterday.
You too. I mean, the Courier House is literally my first time I actually stepped a foot in the Courier House, and it's like I was blown away.
It's like you step back in time. You get like the real, today's amenities and treatment, but the yesteryear.
Exactly.
It's so fun going in there. So for those that don't know, yesterday, RTR, Rutherford Town Rising, held their business after hours event. It was sponsored by Carrier House's Bed and Breakfast Inn, and it was an opportunity for all of our downtown merchants, all of our downtown businesses, anybody that's involved in commerce in Rutherfordton to just come together and be a part of some great conversations and sharing of ideas, and just really kind of talking through what's going on with your businesses, planning for the next quarter of events. And RJ was there representing probably every hat that he wears. But we struck up a conversation about Reaching Roco, which has been an amazing publication and way for people to communicate. And so RJ, I wanted to bring you on this morning because you guys have a new edition coming out soon, right?
Yes, we do, Doug, and I'm super excited for it to come out. And our students, so if you don't know, so just some updates about Reaching Roco. We have a pilot program at Isothermal Community College, so students from across the county can come together and contribute and learn how to be journalists and how to tell their story. So working with those students has been an honor, but we are wrapping up the last tweaks with the issue, and we'll be releasing it digitally next Friday, and then the print copies will be at every coffee shop we can say, but you'll find it in other places as well.
That's awesome. Anything that you want to tease people about for the edition, other than they need to go to the coffee shop or be sure that they're signed up on reachingroco.com to receive the editions?
You know what? Our mission is always the same. And Doug, hopefully you know the 3 parts to it by now. Hopefully.
Hold on, wait a minute. My coffee's halfway full. So reaching youth.
Yes. You got this, Doug.
I got this. Let me dust it off. Youth, young adults, and those that guide them.
Exactly. That's it. Ba-ba-da-cha.
Yeah, it had to have the slow build-up drama,
So yes, youth and adults and those that guide them is always our mission statement. And we tried, and we actually put those things at the very forefront of what we do. And so, we all we know that there are barriers in the community, but this issue is call to action. We want people to be empowered, to be informed about what's going on in our community, and not just be informed about it, but take action, volunteer. We have a aging population that is aging out volunteering wise. And so we need our youth and our young adults to see themselves reflected in those communities and be a part of it. For those that you don't know, there's a historical election that's going on in Rutherford County, and we have leaders that stepped up to the plate and are saying, you know what, I'm seeing a lot of these things going on in my community, and I want to make a difference, and I'm going to take a leadership role. And so Reaching Roco is realizes that, and we're like, you know what, they can't do it on their own. So regardless of where party line you stick are on, we want you to take a stance and make a difference in your community.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit more about that, but just to expand on what you were saying, I was having a conversation. Gosh, I think it was day before yesterday, Wednesday, with Justin Connor, and many of you guys may know Justin. Justin is a commissioner in the town of Forest City. He's on the Forest City Town Council there, but he is also newly kind of appointed and has taken over the Leadership Rutherford class. So this is his first season as the director of Leadership Rutherford. And he and I were having a broader conversation about the exact same thing you were just talking about, RJ, about how Leadership Rutherford provides the best, in his opinion, mine too, during our conversation, one of the best tools for youth and young adults and those that guide them as part of that class to be a springboard into ways to expand volunteerism and community activism and community leadership. And there are so many opportunities through nonprofit service, through governmental service, boards and committees, where people may not feel their voices heard or understand how the process works. But I'm going to tell you that is the place to make an impact in your community, to provide the leadership on a lot of these boards that are struggling to honestly find people that are willing to serve. And so, and some of the greatest boards in our community are seeing that just by people aging out. It's time for the rest of our community and the younger generations to step in, and how cool that is for Leadership Rutherford to play into that, because they are seeing through the course of Leadership Rutherford all of these great organizations that need leadership to do what they do. So anyway, little side note there. More to come on that. That was an early conversation, but there's more to come on that. So just stay tuned. But you have Reaching Rocco is also sponsoring a debate very soon, right?
Yes, and sorry, so Reaching Rocco is sponsoring an event at the Spindle House, and we're gonna do this a little different. So our first forum that we had at Isothermal was a packed house. We were at capacity. So we have a venue that would allow us to expand out just a little bit more. But this time we want to make sure that the debates and the conversations don't end there. We want it to call to action. We want those conversations to continue, but have a plan in place that we can execute and that we can continue to engage with. So the 29th, at the Spindle House. Everyone, please register. You can register at the door, but please try to register beforehand. We're going to have conversations with nonprofits that expertise in these areas of mental health, with homelessness, with drug misuse and overdoses. And of course, those candidates will be there and they will be engaging with the community because they are taking on a huge role with addressing these issues. And so we want to create an avenue for our youth, and we want to create an avenue for our young adults. And I have been confirmed that there are some civic engagers from our Central High School that are going to be attending. We're going to get that out there to other schools as well, so they can be involved as well. But we're excited to see those generations reflected at this event. So please come out and be ready to have fruitful conversations.
So you when you popped on, I said you were on the campus at Isothermal Community College. I don't know if you are or not. I don't know if you're at home or in your office. I don't know where you are. But he's repping Isothermal Community College, which love the team over there. Love Dr. Annunziata and what she's bringing to our community and some of the vision. I know that Isothermal is going through some strategic planning and really looking through how they can impact lives through education and lifelong learning moving forward. But any news and announcements that you're excited about at Isothermal that you want to kind of hit on this morning? I know you got all those hats, so anything that you want to talk about just from the Isothermal perspective while you're on?
Well, you know what? I am thankful for the administration at Isothermal Community College. Dr. Annunziata, Dr. Thomas, and all the other admins, they are so forthcoming. You hear about people sitting behind their desk and saying and expecting people to come to them. This is not that type of administration. There's a shift on our culture at Isothermal. Doug, we talked about earlier. We just had our conference, and there was about, I would say, 20 of us that went to Raleigh to engage with leaders from across our state. And one thing that really rang out in my mind is that students now are facing a lot of pressures, mental health, depression. And so our teaching practices have to change and have to shift to accommodate. And one of those things, the strategies were having a holistic approach and wrapping around support around those students and those that engage with Isothermal Community College. So one of those practices that I'm implementing as an educator is just continuing to reinforce you belong here at Isothermal, even though, because it takes a lot for someone to start back school or to change career paths. And sometimes they may have doubts or insecurities that, what, I don't see a Black person, or I don't see another person that reflects what I look like. So it takes that additional step of, what, you do belong here, regardless if we don't look alike. We're here for your future and want to walk with you every single step of the way. So I'm thankful for Dr. Nunziata for embodying that, everything that I just said, and much, much more, embodying that. Dean Awesomeness, Sandy Lackner, Diane Dickerson. There's so many people on campus I'm proud to work alongside with.
I'm glad that I'm not the only person that calls Sandy Lackner the Dean of Awesomeness. That is awesome.
I could not dress her any other way. So
I don't know
it's
why
pretty
you would.
accurate.
She's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, RJ, thanks for crashing the show this morning. Keep up the good work. Keep up with what you're doing with Reach and Roco. You guys truly are making an impact. And I love to hear the updates from Isothermal Community College and kind of the vision for the future. Mm-hmm. You're right. I mean, education for anybody, no matter where you are on your educational achievement level or where you are in your career path, should be lifelong and should be constantly striving to find new ways to better improve yourself. And Isothermal Community College is such a rich resource in our community. A lot of us maybe would have a prejudgment or a conception that isothermal is for youth. Well, isothermal is in a center for lifelong learning in our community and a statement of how we should perceive education as Rutherford County. And so it's really a gem for our community for traditional education, for certifications, for coming together as community, but then moreover, kind of retraining, like you talked about. Sometimes we may find ourselves in the middle of our career path and look to do new things, and isothermal is the caveat to make that happen. And so I'm glad to see that the vision is there to continue for isothermal to improve itself. So awesome.
Thank you.
Plus, you got the Dean of Awesomeness, and
Well, you have sunshine every single day. So I mean, come on now, like.
Oh, we just sprinkle it. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
You said something about Leadership Rutherford and like Magnolia. We're like the class of 2022. And so it's awesome to see like that model continuing to raise leaders in Rutherford County. They have 4 high school students, I believe, and they have young adults that are taking leadership roles. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, and to see it, and just to not only see them take leadership roles, but thrive. So Sunshine, hats off to you as well for all that you do for the town of Rutherfordton and how you're creating a space of inclusion and representation. It's awesome. I love it, you guys.
I'm happy that I get to work with people like you too, just out in the community to, see the vision and make it come true. So thank you, RJ.
Yeah, more to come about Leadership Rutherford as I sit here and think about future episodes and future conversations with Justin about how that can strengthen our local leadership core. More to come on that for sure, because part of that conversation even started with an idea of how do we strengthen and ensure that there's big communication with the alumni group, and with you guys being the class of 2022. There are multiple other classes behind you, and all of those have proven that there is some civic engagement and civic mindset with them, and how they can then be involved and support, even if it's in just a support role, engagement in the community. So yeah, more to come there. More to come.
Yes.
RJ, thanks for crashing the show this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. Tell all of our friends at Isothermal we said hello, especially the Dean of Awesomeness. Let her know that we dropped her name multiple times on live YouTube Brewtiful Mornings this morning.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having me. And next time I'll make sure I'll have a cup of coffee or something.
Don't worry about it.
Something.
All right.
Christy said something about
she was. How cool is that, Chris? Now, did you guys connect yesterday, RJ? She was her and her husband Stephen were at the RTR event at Carrier Houses.
So I've shook a lot of hands and I'm names whatsoever. So she was there. I said hello.
Yeah. So Christy, it is really cool to see that Leadership Rutherford, and it never went anywhere. It's here. It's going. It's strong. Under some new leadership. Lincoln McDaniel was there for, probably the better part of at least more than a decade. I don't know how long she served as their director, and now Justin Connor has taken that over. But it's great to see Leadership Rutherford continuing and what it does for that. Oh, there you go. See, you guys have connected.
Christy, are you going to be at the next Fab on the 28th? Ooh, I know that may be some a mic drop or something that you guys are going to talk about later, but Fab is 28, so please come out for those who are listening right now.
Yeah, that is on our list of tricks and tips at the end. You're fine, RJ. You were fine. 28th. 2 bands on the 28th.
Whoa, double trouble.
Yes.
Double trouble. Oh, so she'll be dancing with Christy. I'll come find you.
Yeah, and more to come on Christy too, because her and her family are going to be opening up a new retail space on Main Street in the very near future. So they are working hard to get their space ready, and some announcements to be made for new retail space in downtown Rutherfordton.
Listen, downtown Rutherfordton is popping. It is growing so much.
Speaking of popping, I said I would say this, but now I'm past, and so they're going to be like, he never said anything. So I got caught up in RJ. I am sorry to the team at Main Street Market, but today is moving day for Main Street Market, and I was talking to Rob and the team over there, and they would love any help that the community wants to provide in assistance. I talked to some of our other restaurateurs, and I know they and some of their staff are going to be taking time to go and help Main Street Market move items down to the new location today at 9:00. So if you are in the downtown area and maybe you have the ability to take a 15-minute break, or you can take your lunch break early, or you just can sneak out of the office for 10 minutes, I know the team at Main Street Market could use some assistance moving downhill. It's a good thing it's going downhill from 211 down to 187, so they can get set up and get opened up down there. So if there's anybody out there that is ready and willing with a strong back to go, thanks for doing that, Miss Murphy. But yeah, go meet up at 211 North Main Street, which is the current site of Main Street Market. They have stuff boxed up and ready to go. Just pick it up. And many hands make light work, and get that down to 187 for them. But I just want to say thank you to our community of folks. It was so refreshing to hear other restaurateurs that had called me or had talked to me about the fact that they were going to be taking their team to help see Main Street Market succeed. So that just kind of speaks to the volume of the way that our businesses so rely on each other and support each other.
Maybe if there's enough people, we can just have a line of people that go down Main Street that just take a box and pass it. And
that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. All right. On to news and announcements. RJ, just stay on. We're going to miss something. So if you got if you need to hop off and go to work, you hop off and go to work. But we're going to go through a couple of news and announcements this morning. First of all, like RJ said, we've got a Fab coming up on the 28th, 2 bands that night. Halloween costume contest, Jumpy House, many different things going on with Fab for the final Fab of the season on the 28th. That'll be Friday the 28th. Concurrent with Fab, or as Fab starts to wind down, winding up will be the Hocus Pocus movie night that will be starting as the sun goes down. So probably in that, I think Magnolia 6:30, 7 o'clock time frame, end of
Yeah.
August, end of October. Whenever the sun goes down, the movie's going to start. Oh my goodness, Kevin Lane, where have you been? What rock did you hide under? You are a stalwart of Brewtiful Mornings, and he has popped the question: what is Fab? Fab is dun, 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 dun,
Food, art, and brew.
Food, Art, and Brew. It is our fantastic Friday event. I say ours. I say that as a collective community. The town is just mere support of that. There is a conglomerate of, I would say, 6 to 8 businesses in our downtown core that have come together in a grassroots campaign to plan, host, and produce Food, Art, and Brew, which is a street festival geared towards true artisan craft goods, locally handmade, and showcasing that and showcasing great food and local food from our restaurants and brews of all kinds. So those brews could be cold brews from small town coffee roasters, hot brews from Main Street Coffee and Ice Cream, or just what you would think of as a brew or a beer. And so, yeah, you've heard of Food, Art, and Brew, but everybody likes a good acronym, so it is FAB for short.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you right there, Doug. RJ, I'm gonna let you go. I know that you are a very, very busy man. So
See you there. Food, art, brew.
Thank you for being here, RJ. Have a good day.
Thanks, Sound Robinson. Bye.
bye.
Okay, good. Yeah, I told him like 5 minutes. That was probably like 15,
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all good. All right. So we got Fab. We got the Hocus Pocus movie night. We had talked about doing a trick or treat before the movie night, but with the news that the town of Forest City is going to be doing their trick or treat on the exact same night, we are going to pause the trail or treat efforts for the movie night. If you were geared up for trail or treat for the movie night and would still like to maybe hand out candy during the movie, we reach out to Magnolia and I. We'll talk through some details. Honestly, we're just a little concerned about the ability for us to holistically pull that off in the years where there have been multiple opportunities for trick-or-treating when it comes to bigger, large-scale trick-or-treats like what Forest City is doing on Friday night and what we were trying to do here. What we have found is that it becomes very overwhelming. People know about that. They take their children to multiple places. The trail or treat was geared towards the smaller crowd of 100 to 200 kids that would be there for Hocus Pocus. And what we don't want is 1,000 to 2,000 kids to overwhelm volunteers that were only prepared to hand out candy to 100 to 200 kids. So that's the thought process in that. And so if you were one of those volunteers that was ready to do trail or treat, please reach out to Magnolia and I, and we will talk through some details of how you can still participate in the movie night. We just do not want to market that and have you overwhelmed with kids from all of the area. Now, moving on to Monday, October 31st is traditional Halloween, and we will be having our trick or treat on Main Street from 4 to 6 p.m. on Halloween. So unlike other communities that are trying to move Halloween around, we will have our Halloween on Main Street on Halloween from 4 to 6 p.m. So come out in full costume and dress, and we are back to a live event. We ask you to stay on the sidewalks. We're not doing a drive-through for the last couple of years for COVID. We've had to do a drive-through event. We thank everybody for working through us with the drive-through so we could keep that tradition going. But we'll be on the sidewalks. We'll have police officers there. We'll have traffic control there to kind of help with crossings. But the best thing to do is just pick a side. Most people start at the Norris Library and go up the sidewalk all the way to the courthouse. They'll cross at the crosswalk at the courthouse at 2nd Street. They'll see the sheriff, they'll see the clerk of court and those at the courthouse, and then make your way down Main Street along the side where Main Street Market is, where Main Street Coffee and Ice Cream, Sunny Days, that side of Main Street, and then end up back here at Town Hall at the end. And Mayor Dancy will be there in front of Town Hall. So that's how most people do it. And that's usually how the crowd of folks are going. So most people are going up Main Street, just like what the cars would do. So, going up Main Street on the side of
The library.
the library, Kid Senses,
Mhm.
Main Street, Hilltop,
And then
Hills
it's-
Hardware.
Yeah.
Going up that way, just like traffic goes, go across and then come down southbound on that side. And that'll be from 4 to 6 or until the candy is gone.
Okay, Doug, if there is a downtown business that wants to hand out candy, what do they need to do?
They need to get a hold of me or you or Leanna via email, text, pigeon, snail mail,
Smoke signal.
pocket notes, smoke signals, whatever the case may be. Some type of communication to us so we can get you a feeder bag of candy. So the town and RTR have always sponsored a bag of candy to those businesses, usually about 250 pieces, just to kind of get them going. So if you are a business in the downtown area that is wanting to hand out candy, just let us know. We'll put you on our list. We will deliver candy to you, most likely that Friday before the Monday. So get you a bag of candy and get you ready for the trick-or-treaters on Main Street. If you have not purchased your candy, I encourage you to at least start and check in with Ryan Hodge over at C&H Wholesale. They have been great suppliers of candy in the past, not promising that they have a great inventory in this time of inventory shortages across everything, but definitely check in with Ryan first.
And then how much candy should they buy? Like how many pieces of candy do you think would be a good number for?
This is hard. You heard me kind of comment a little bit there about what other communities are doing. In a year when the communities are doing Halloween at the same time, it's not uncommon for us at each, kind of handing out location to give out somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 pieces of candy. That's not uncommon in a year when we're doing that on the same night. Now that the communities are not doing those on the same night and we are doing ours on Halloween, I don't think it's going to be unfathomable for us to give out 2,000 to 2,500 pieces of candy. And I think that is unfair for some of our small downtown businesses. That is a lot of money in candy. The town is prepared to give that out. And so just ask for your grace and your patience as you are participating in our downtown Main Street candy handout for Halloween. If you've got there and it's 5 o'clock and they have run out of candy, the other locations, we are going to try to be staffed up and stocked up to do that. And so I just want to say thank you to those businesses that are attempting to participate. For those that are participating in the dress up, just please have patience and empathy to our businesses. That is a lot of money to spend on candy for them to be fully stocked up to do that. And so that's one of the reasons we assist there. But the town and our locations will try to have as much candy as we can to get to that 6 o'clock hour. Again, we can't promise it. So until the candy runs out.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, hopefully next year we can coordinate Halloweens and make sure that they're on the same day. So
there's got to be some kind of line or pun from Hocus Pocus about that, right?
is there?
I don't know. Should be.
It's been a while since I've seen Hocus Pocus. So
Okay, so last debate before we hop off here. Have you seen Hocus Pocus 2?
I have not.
I have not either. I was waiting. My kids want to watch it. But I was looking through some comments and I don't know.
I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on it.
Anybody watching this morning have a review on Hocus Pocus 2? Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. See the hearts coming in.
Has Jeannie seen it yet? Because I
don't
feel
know.
like she's like the Hocus Pocus fanatic in the office.
All right. So again, a couple things. One, if you have time today and want to have a helping hand, if you work in the downtown area, slide by Main Street Market, see how you can help them move down the hill. Excited for them in their new space. God, it's gonna be a beautiful location. There we go. Love some of it. Yeah, okay. When you start going into these sequels and you got 2 and 3 and like Fast and the Furious 42 that's out now, it's hard to really recreate the level of that first movie, especially when you've got that time difference between the two, and like it's kind of like this tradition, like you watched Hocus Pocus for so many years, then you get 2 in there.
Mhm.
I think the only one that ever did it really well was like Home Alone 2. You had Home Alone and then Home Alone 2. And I know they went to like Home Alone 4, but those started to drop off, like 3 and 4. I mean, you can debate me if you want to, but Home
I don't
Alone
think
2
I've ever
was,
seen Home Alone.
oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Don't come at me and say you never saw any of the National Lampoons either. So you had like National Lampoon's Christmas
I've
Vacation,
seen Elf.
National Lampoon Vacation, European Vacation.
I've seen Elf.
Did Elf have a 2?
I don't think so. I'm not the
Okay.
person to talk to about movies, though.
Yeah, we're starting to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What? Yeah. Okay. We're getting off on a tangent here. The end of October has got a lot of great opportunities to get involved. So we've got Hilltop Fall Festival, just 7 days
Literally
away.
next week.
Like next Saturday at Hilltop Fall Festival. Then we've got Trick or Treat or Fab on Friday the 28th, coupled with Hocus Pocus movie night down at Kiwanis Park. So Fab Food, Art, and Brew is on Central Street in downtown Rutherfordton. That'll be from 5 o'clock to roughly 9 o'clock in the Central Street area. And then the Hocus Pocus movie night, we start those at dark. I'm guessing 6:45, 7 o'clock, end of October time frame. That'll be before time rolls back. So it'll be getting dark pretty early then. And then, the other thing I wanted to start talking to you guys about, because it is going to be here before we know it.
The Christmas
Starting
party?
in November, the first and third Saturdays, the town is going to be hosting the Winter Farmers Market in the Woodrow Jones building. So the first one is going to be Saturday, November the 5th. We need to get Stephanie on a show pretty soon and see her or whoever's going to be running the market from Rutherford Barn. And get them involved. But that is going to be here before we know it. That is going to be Saturday, November the 5th. Every first and third Saturday, all the way through, I think, March. So November, December, January, February, and March. And I know they're going to be doing some arts and crafts stuff too, mixed into that series. So be watching their Facebook page for more information. But the Winter's Farmers Market has always produced some great produce, great arts and crafts, great quality handmade products, farm products. And so we are excited to be the host again this year. It'll be in the Woodrow Jones building. That'll give us a little more space to kind of set things up in there. And so the Woodrow Jones, for those that may not understand what that is the former post office building that the town manages on the corner of North Main and Court Street. So right on the corner of North Main and Court, just one building up from Norris Library, diagonally across from Town Hall is our Woodrow Jones building. So again, excited to have them here. So for those that are calendar folks, start writing down first and third Saturdays in the mornings. I think they're going from 8 to noon, something like that.
I have the flyer in my car. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Okay.
I think
worries.
they have 13 vendors that are going to be a part of it this year, which is going to be phenomenal. So
yeah, and that was one of the reasons we hosted here inside Town Hall, and we could do like 10 vendors, just moving stuff around. But we felt like in Woodrow Jones with the hallway And that back, the big kind of community room in the back, we could get all of those vendors in.
Mm-hmm.
And give that they can load in and out of the back with the loading dock a little easier. So
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining in this morning. Thanks for tuning in to Brewtiful Mornings. Next week is going to be all Hilltop Fall Festival, all teasers for Hilltop Fall Festival, all things fall, Hilltop Fall Festival, and fireworks. He's got to pause there. And I want to wrap up with this. So the mayor kind of teased about it at the start of the show. We had a great day yesterday. We were able to come together with a group of community partners to officially have the grand opening celebration for Creekwood Meadows. Creekwood Meadows is the subdivision that is down on John Smith Road. It will host 31 single-family homes and impact the lives of 31 families through home ownership. There will also be 60 workforce apartments that'll be coming in the near future, and then a early Head Start program with access to early childhood healthcare and early childhood development. And so we got a chance to kind of welcome that community and to thank Gateway Wellness Foundation and moreover the Dogwood Health Trust and a group of 25 different community partners that have all come together to make that subdivision and that community a reality. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Broad River Water Authority for their participation, the town of Rutherford and the town council for their participation in that. Just a couple things I wanted to hit real quick. Of all of the people that are involved with that project, so the actual boots on the ground, the people that are doing the work, over 70% of the subcontractors and contractors are from Rutherford County. When you add in contractors from McDowell County and Rutherford County, that number jumps to 90%. So almost 100% of the subcontractors and contractors of that project are from Rutherford and McDowell County. The other 10% is the actual home construction itself because it's modular, and that is coming from Kittiwah Manufacturing, or you may know them as Cardinal Homes, which is owned by the Cherokee Nation and produced some on the inside the Qualla boundary and some in some other manufacturing locations that they have in the Carolinas. And so everything is truly locally sourced there. So again, over 70% of the folks are straight right here from Rutherford County working there, 90% Rutherford and McDowell County. So I thought that was huge.
Mm-hmm.
In our 354-page fresh off the press housing needs assessment by the Bowen National Research Group, they highlight that there is a demand for 500 units right here in the small town of Rutherfordton. So inside of the limits of the town of Rutherfordton, just right there, there is a demand for 500 units. And the same study showed that in the 18-county region that Dogwood Health Trust serves in Western North Carolina, there's a demand for 13,000. When you break that down to Rutherford County, there's a demand for just a little over 1,000 units. When you pull that demand into the town of Rutherfordton and there's a demand for 500 units, I think it speaks to how bad housing is a need in our community. Of those 500, there's a demand for about 240-ish rental units and about another 240-ish for sale homes across all spectrums. And so for this project to begin working towards that goal to provide 31 single family homes and then also 60 apartments is a big win for our community, a big win for those that living here. We got to hear yesterday from one of the first homeowners who is actually a biology teacher at Chase High School, and how he and his wife have struggled to get into home ownership and how home ownership was really a dictating factor of whether they would stay in our community and keep their talents here or unfortunately have to move to another community strictly because the access to home ownership at a 0% vacancy rate and not having access to affordable entry-level homes for those coming out of school or those trying to break into home ownership was a real struggle for them. And I think that speaks across all of our community. So it was a really emotional day for me. I know it was an emotional day for a lot of our partners, but it was an exciting day as we begin to see that community come to life.
Mm-hmm.
Magnolia, I know you were there for a little while. Anything you want to add about the project or just kind of your experience?
Well, I was only there for like the beginning part of it, but I have to say that it was extremely heartwarming just to see all of like the community actors to come together to celebrate, because it wasn't just the town of Rutherfordton or town council. It wasn't just the people that are building the houses. It was a little bit of everyone. And for the community to care so much and to invest so much into the community to build houses for the people that are actually like bettering our community is just amazing.
Yeah, it was a fun day, and I hope we get the chance to do more of those when you can impact people's lives through providing. The mayor said it. He probably the best. When our youth have the ability, and their parents obviously have the ability to provide themselves for home ownership and create that sense of safety and financial safety too. But when a child can walk into a bedroom and say, "This is my room," is what the mayor's quote was. That's when you know that you're starting to impact lives, that people have that safety, have that place that they can then foster what they want to be when they grow up and foster their community involvement. So anyway,
and that's just the start of it. Like Creekwood Meadows is just the start.
Just the start. Yep. All right. Magnolia, thanks for the control room and bringing in and bringing off and letting RJ crash this morning. It was fun to have him on.
Of course.
I will reach out. I'm going to reach out to, well, you're on the barn board. Hey,
Yeah.
look at Rutherford leadership and Magnolia on the barn board. Can you reach out to somebody on the barn board and see if we can get them onto a future show, maybe next week or the week after, before November the 5th?
Yeah. How about not next week, but the week after?
I love it already.
Perfect. Yes.
Right.
I will work on that.
Good deal. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful day in the town of Rutherfordton, has a wonderful weekend, and we cannot wait to be back next week and to kick off fall with you officially with the Hilltop Fall Festival.
Of course. Have a good weekend, everybody.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you